When I was a little kid, my parents told me I talked a lot. My father would say to me every now and then, if you stop talking for a little while and you listen, you might learn something. Hey, how about our readings today? Listening is an important part of what's going on with those. Witnessed a marriage yesterday here at St. Jude's. Got to know the couple in marriage preparation. I really enjoyed this couple a lot. I feel very, very good about, let's say, their married life together coming up because they listen to each other. Even in all the noise and all the clutter of everyday life, they really seem to have a good sense of what it means to listen to each other. You can tell by their eyes or their posture, or say how you read their faces. For them, listening is going to lead to a lot of good things. Less resistance. We're in it together. Reassurance. Strengthening the bonds of our trust and love. I feel pretty good about where they were going, and so much of that's on the foundation of their listening skills. Listening is a big part of what's going on in our gospel and our first reading today. Like in the first reading today with Elijah, trying to find the Lord, listen for the Lord. He had just overcome, let's say, the followers of Baal in another place, and he's traveling. He wants to find the Lord. Well, will he hear the Lord in the earthquake? No. Will he hear the Lord in the fire? With apologies to Johnny Cash? No. Instead, he takes shelter in the mouth of a nearby cave, and there he listens, and in the subtle breeze going by, he hears the presence of the Lord. And humbled, Elijah's now ready to listen and be even more deeply committed to the Lord. Listening was important to Elijah. How about our gospel? It's a very direct continuation from last week. Jesus went across the lake to the other side. He wanted a quiet place to pray. He had heard that John the Baptist, his cousin, had died in prison. The disciples followed him, ran into 5,000 hungry people along the way. Jesus fed them on the hillside with the loaves and the fish. Well, this time Jesus said he put the disciples on the boat to precede him back on the other side of the lake. And he dismisses the people. And he stays and prays. And deep into the night, he's walking out on the lake on foot. And the disciples who were fighting the wind and having a really tough time, they see Jesus and they lose it. They are afraid. Who is that on the water? Is that a ghost? And Jesus calls out to them and says, No, it's I. And I love what Peter says here. Well, if it is you, Lord, who else walks in the water at 3 a.m? If it is you, Lord, call to me and I will come out to you. Come, Peter. Peter starts walking in the water. And I guess between the waves and the chop and the wind, he becomes afraid. He's probably worried he's going to drown. He starts to sink. He calls out to Jesus to save him, and Jesus just reaches and pulls him out of the water. Now, a lot of people, I think, they pick up on that next phrase from Jesus, "Oh, you little faith, why'd you doubt?" Thinking maybe Peter was doubting him. Where's Peter's faith? That's a fair question. But that boat had a bunch of disciples, all those disciples, right? All 12 of them. Almost all of them were fishermen. Only Peter got out of the boat to go walk across the water. Maybe the question is, hey, the other 11, where's their faith? Well, Peter is the only one who goes out. Peter has faith, he's afraid. Doesn't that kind of say something about who we are and what happens to us in our lives from time to time? We think we have great closeness to God, but there are times we drift a little. Or maybe we're not entirely sure what's going on. Or we have just a little bit of doubt, not so much about God, but the consequences of things going on around us. And we worry about these things. Sleepless nights, stumbling on the stairs, whatever it happens to be. I don't think it's a matter of doubt. I think it's a matter of listening. Do you and I doubt? Is it lack of faith, or maybe something from the modern age? Is it fear of failing? I mean, let's face it, Peter probably was legitimately worried about drowning. I don't think we drown very often, but we're probably worried about, say, who we are. What's our standing with other people? What's going on in our communities? How do I fit in? Am I doing the right thing? Am I looking good? All those things. Maybe that sometimes gets in the way. Are we called to be successful, or called to be faithful, or called to be faith-filled? Jesus is always present to us, even in the most difficult of times. Think of the Gospels the last few weeks. The word compassion comes up every now and then. Jesus felt compassion for ... I heard someone once tell me that compassion is standing with others in the midst of their chaos or difficulty. Maybe we need to listen. We all do. Like Elijah, like Peter, maybe we're called to listen more carefully, more deeply to Jesus. Then we're ready to stand with him and stand with others in the midst of everything that goes on in their lives.